One of the most popular articles on my Breakthrough Marketing Secrets website is one where I talk about Dan Kennedy's 10 questions to ask before you write copy. And it actually came right out of this book, out of like chapter 2, where Dan starts talking about the process of writing the ultimate sales letter, as the title of the book says. And this reflects all the most important thinking that goes into writing copy and developing marketing before you even actually start to write the copy or develop the marketing. And I just thought that I would go through that list of questions here in video format once again and kind of share my reflections after a few more years experience creating marketing breakthroughs for clients and in various businesses, including my own. 10 questions. Dan calls them my 10 smart market diagnosis and profiling questions. Number 1 question: what keeps them awake at night, indigestion, boiling up their esophagus, eyes open, staring at the ceiling? So like, this isn't just like, what are they worried about, right? Dan uses really vivid language here, asking like, what not just is keeping them awake at night, but like what's causing indigestion, what's causing them to toss and turn instead of sleeping? What is it that is so frustrating in their life that they can't even get a good night's sleep over it? And they're actually having like very, very, very vivid like agitation and suffering around it. When you understand that, you can connect with your prospect on an incredibly, incredibly deep level, and like they're automatically motivated to fix that problem. And if you can connect that motivation to your product or service, to your offer, it becomes much easier to persuade them to do whatever it is that you can do to help them. What are they afraid of? Oftentimes we move as strongly, or more strongly actually, away from things that we fear, away from the negative, than we actually move towards things that are positive. So Dan's emphasis here is on the negative experiences that we're having, the agitations, the frustrations that we're having, the fears that we're having, because he knows that if we're afraid of something, actually research says that you're like twice as likely to move away from the negative as towards the positive. So what are they afraid of? What are they angry about, and who are they angry at? This is really important too, because if you can align with somebody against their enemies, if you can align with someone against a situation that they're angry about, then it's very easy to then move them in whatever direction your product or service requires in order to get them to take action. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? These are the things that irritate them on a day-to-day basis. And by being aware of these things, by being focused on these things, by being able to speak to these things, to their frustrations, then you can connect with them. Again, like all of this is about really understanding the negatives in their daily experience. So as you write copy, as you put together your marketing message, as you write your sales letter or video sales letter script or whatever, like recognizing, okay, these are the things that are agitating you right now, and I can help bring you away from them. I can help you recover from them. I can help find the solution for you. And being able to do that is incredibly effective in connecting with people, then to lead them towards whatever positive. What trends are occurring and will occur in their business or lives? So like, how are things changing? Recognizing change either allows you to position yourself against the change, or to position yourself with the change, to either piggyback the change and go in that direction and say, hey, this is changing and I'm here to help, or this is changing and you don't like change, so I'm here to protect you from it. What do they secretly, ardently desire most? That's number 6. Secret desires. That's a really powerful idea, to be able to understand. Like it's one of those things where somebody will often say, oh, that person really gets me. They know me better than I know myself. Or like there's this underlying feeling that if somebody really gets you, they kind of know you better than you know yourself. And if you recognize that somebody secretly, ardently desires something, then you are able to then hang that thing in front of them. That becomes the carrot that they can move towards. We talked about fear being something they want to move away. If you can position both what they want to move away from and what they want to move towards as part of what you are delivering in your offer, you are going to be incredibly effective with it. Is there a built-in bias to the way they make decisions? Example, engineers are exceptionally analytical. This really matters when it comes down to the actual presentation of your persuasive message. For example, if someone is somebody that is really data oriented and needs to see all the facts and needs, like, you have to find a way to build that into your presentation, versus if somebody just wants like the executive summary overview and the emotional case. Like, if you recognize that there's differences in the way that they make their decisions, then you can be more effective in giving them just what they need and building your marketing, your copywriting around that. Do they have their own language? So if I speak to you about direct response, like, those two words don't mean anything to people outside of marketing. But if I speak to you about direct response inside marketing as copywriters, like, that carries its own very specific weight. If we're talking about bullets and we're talking about copywriting, that's a very different thing than if we're talking about bullets and we're like members of the local gun club, right? Different language means different things in different contexts, and it helps to understand your prospect's language and be able to speak to them, not necessarily speaking to them in jargon, because when you speak to them in jargon, it becomes too thick. It becomes something that takes too much processing. But if you speak to someone occasionally dropping in the language that represents the fact that you're an insider, they're going to trust you, because we trust people that are like us. And one of the ways that we can figure out very quickly if someone is like us, especially in written word media, is if they use the language that we use. Who is selling something similar to them and how? This comes down to like market research, marketing research, like understanding people who have similar offers in the marketplace, understanding the people that are offering similar solutions to the problem really helps you position yourself as different. You can use this to break down like what are the common components, benefits, features of different offers in the marketplace that you need to match at a minimum to have an effective offer. And you can also recognize what represents a point of differentiation, like where you can stick yourself in, come in at an angle that's unique and different, where you can give them a new understanding of a problem that they're facing, and then make way for your particular solution in their minds. Who else has tried selling them something similar, and how has that effort failed? This is actually like really deep research, that recognizing that not every offer that's been put in front of them has been effective. And the better you can understand offers that didn't work, the more pitfalls you can avoid. Like, you don't have to learn from your own failures. You can learn from other people's failures and become more successful because of that. So like, these are pretty solid questions. I'll make sure, like I said, to include a link to the original article that is the 10 questions you ask before you write a word of copy from Dan Kennedy, which includes those questions. And I'll include a link to this book as well, the latest edition. I have the 3rd edition. I think there's at least a 4th edition out. But this kind of thinking is really powerful. And in fact, like, this is the type of thinking that I worked into my control beating project pre-flight blueprint, which is a training that I put out that's all about like the in-depth research that top copywriters go into before they write copy, because all of that, like all the things that you do before you write a word of copy, is what eventually will lead to the best outcome in terms of the copy that you write. So I'll include a link to that training as well. So if you like this video, make sure that you like it so the algorithm can share it with people like you. Comment, have you ever used these questions? Do you have other questions that you always ask? Do you have questions for me? You can share the video with other people who might find it valuable. And subscribe. You can subscribe here. Also, when you go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com to see that article, to get the 10 questions, you can subscribe there to get my daily content on marketing, copywriting, business building, selling, personal development, and more. My name is Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. And hey, I look forward to seeing you again in your next video where I can deliver even more great content like this. I'll see you soon. Bye.